Alright, YouTube, Mount Hale, another 4,000 footer, Hale Brook Trail. I come up here and deposit our parking free $3 for the day. Good to go. Mount Hale, one of the easier 4,000 footers, famous last words, but this one not supposed to have great views, and relatively short hike, kind of just a little bit of a workout here. And but if you're trying to tackle the 48 4,000 footers, you need to get this one checked off. So we'll see. What we'll try to do in the video is just give you an idea of if this is a good hike for maybe bringing some kids or some inexperienced folks, or maybe somebody who's not at a terrific fitness level yet. So we'll take a look at it with that perspective and see how it goes. Hale Brook Trail is 2.2 to the summit, and it is pretty much a straight shot based on what I've seen on the maps and things. So you know, I think as a place to start, this might be one of the ones. The only drawback is it's not supposed to have any real great views at the summit. So we'll see. Here we go. So about 3/4 of a mile in, as advertised, the trail pretty nondescript. This is what it looks like so far, just pretty smooth, not much in the way of rocks and roots, gradual climb, and pretty steady, which I guess it has to be to get to the summit in 2 miles, but certainly nothing terrible. So just Graybeard here today with Rafa, and trying to knock out this 4,000 footer. This, I would imagine, is Hale Brook, since this is the Hale Brook Trail, and a nice spot to grab water if you're a little short. For 4 miles, 4.4 miles, I have a liter. Rafa has probably about a liter and 2 separate bottles in her pack. She just has a few treats, so we've been able to be pretty light here today. I have the Osprey Talon on. The 22-liter day pack is as small as I have, and like I said, Rafa has just a couple of bottles of water and some handful of treats and some Ziplocs. So the pack, as you'll see when you see a Pimmy Loop video, which should be out in the next few days, the pack basically disintegrated on that trail. I was about to retire it, and I thought, well, let's see if we can get a few more trips. So it is duct taped together, and we'll see if it gets us through the rest of this season. I don't know if it'll get us that far, but so nice spot here, and you can see why the pack takes such abuse. She never misses a chance to get wet. So just again, this 3/4 of a mile in, a little bit of a brook crossing here. I would guess in winter or potentially springtime this could be a little tougher than it is today, but not too bad. With a camera it might be tougher than it needs to be, but you can see, not a big challenge. But that's about 3/4 of a mile in. So a little past the halfway point. It's gotten a little slower, and not because it's really gotten much steeper. It's just gotten a little rockier, a little more in the way of roots like this. So a little slower, and the way down will probably be a little slower in this section too, but nothing tough, nothing too bad. So another little stream crossing again. Winter, springtime, this could be a little different situation, but nice cool spot. In the summer, August 6th. So it's a nice place for Rafa to catch a drink and cool down. So we're less than half a mile from the summit. Getting real switchbacky here. We just took pretty much a complete U-turn, and it's somewhat flat here. So I don't know how much climbing we have left to do, but can't be too much because, as I said, we're under half a mile. So sun is shining. Unfortunately, we won't see much there, but we'll tag it and probably head out quick because there are some thunderstorms in the area. So not a particularly risky place to be, but why be out in a thunderstorm if you don't have to be, right? So just about to the summit, and if you really try, there is a view here poking through the trees. I'm not sure if that's the best we're gonna do. It may be, don't you think, Ruff? Don't you think, Ruffa? Here we are, summit of Mount Hale. Hale Brook Trail. Getting a little bit dark too. A little different than Franconia Notch for views, for terrain, for crowds, but nonetheless, number 20, Rafa hits number 19. She's only missing Washington behind me. She was still a pup, so that's it, Mount Hale. As you can see, not much in the way of views, and it is getting a little dark, so we're not gonna spend too much time. That's the summit of Mount Hale. Heading down. I'm gonna try to move at a decent clip because, like I said, it does look like we might see some of those thunder showers come through here, but I'm not overly concerned. We're pretty thick in the woods here, and we're not exposed too bad, but who wants to be out if you don't have to be? So some views. Some of these trees are about to go too, and maybe opening it up in future years, but a little bit in the way of views. So we're still in the first half mile or so coming down, and the rain did come quickly, and just kind of spit on us, a little warning volley, I think, but I think we're gonna get rained on. The question is gonna be, are we gonna be on the trail or in the Jeep? So we're just gonna try to do the best we can. Trudging along on a relatively easier stretch. I thought I'd just really quick talk about the shoes that I've been wearing. A lot of people talk on the boards and the Facebook groups about hiking boots versus trail runners, and we made the move. Most of us, I think all of us, just about have made the move to trail runners, at least in the warmer weather months. And I will never wear hiking boots again. I was in love with my Brooks Cascadias. Still wear them from time to time, but they're getting towards the end, and so I picked up a pair of the La Sportiva Wildcats to get them kind of broken in and ready to take the place of the Brooks Cascadias. And I really didn't know if I would like anything as much of the Brooks, but I definitely love these Wildcats. I think they're a little bit stiffer than the Brooks, a little beefier kind of feel to them, but extremely comfortable. Never have I had any kind of hot spots or any issues with them, and they dry pretty quick. Although we were out on the Pemi for our Pemi loop a couple of weeks ago, and pretty much everything I owned stayed wet the entire time, so even these weren't able to dry out there. But 4 days out there, 34 miles, lots of climbing, lots of rocks, and not a single hot spot or anything like that. The laces are great, they stay tied. It's a traditional lacing system. So they have a good amount of miles on them already, and they're hanging in there. Let's talk for a minute about this trail as maybe something to do as your first 4,000 footer, or maybe bring a young person or somebody that maybe isn't the fittest person in the world. I would say yes, I would definitely recommend this as one of your first 4,000 footers if you have some interest in seeing if you want to try it and tackle a list and so forth. Yes, I would say so. For somebody's first hike, I would just say yes. As far as the difficulty or the ease of the hike, the terrain, and the fact that it's not overly long. The one drawback is not a view at the top, and there's a couple of little views just before the top, but nothing great. I would say if you're not looking at doing a list, there's probably plenty of other hikes where you can get some bang for the buck, meaning some great views for the same level of effort. But I would say if you're in the area and looking for a hike that's not too difficult and you want to say you did one of the 4,000 footers, I'd say absolutely go for it. You know, even a slower hiker is going to do this comfortably in half a day and still have time to go to the beach or the arcades or whatever else you want to do. So give it a try.
1, 2, 1.